Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to tell you about the forms of Danish nouns, singular definite, singular indefinite, plural definite and indefinite forms, and how do we make them. There are two grammatical types of nouns in Danish. They have two genders, if you can call it like this, but it's not like a masculine and a feminine gender. The nouns which denote objects or phenomena, they have nothing to do with the real biological gender, for example. So I say that it's like a grammatical feature of a noun. These two types are usually called common gender and neutral gender. So every time you learn a new noun, you should remember its gender or its grammatical feature, whether it belongs to an in group or it group. Because the reference to a particular gender or particular grammatical type affects how they will grammatically behave in a sentence, in a context with adjectives. That's why it's important to know whether a noun is of in or it group. The only two forms which are gender dependent are singular definite and singular indefinite, like an apple or the apple. The plural is not dependent on whether a noun belongs to in or it group. You just add a plural ending if it's necessary and a plural definite article. There is no 100% rule as why certain nouns belong to in group and the others belong to it group. Sometimes it's very random, sometimes there are some phonetical regularities with exceptions. So you have to remember and memorize, especially when you start learning a language. And the more words you memorize, the easier it will be for you to figure out and to guess later which type of grammatical gender a noun belongs to. Let's look at some examples. Here in the table I made 4 columns for indefinite singular, so it will be a form like an apple. And then definite singular like the apple, then indefinite plural like apples, and definite plural like the apples. Ubekendt intel. Intel is singular, ubekendt unknown or indefinite. Flertal means plural, if you want to know Danish terms. So I take 2 random examples, and for example in person, a person, and et kontor, an office. You say just randomly they belong to in or it group. If I want to say a person, an office, then I just write in or it in front, and it means like a person, an office. If I want to say the person, then I put this indefinite article at the end, and it becomes definite. So it sounds like person, the. Personen, and the other example would be kontoret. Sometimes people pronounce kontoret. Then if I want to make plural, I should know which type or which pattern of making plural this noun takes. And I can either add er, er, e, or just use the same form as in the singular. I call it a purgai group. So basically you have to remember the noun's gender and the type of the plural form. And all the rest would be clear if you know the rule. So I would say personer, kontorer, offices, persons. Personerne would mean the persons. So I keep saying o at the end, and then I add ne to show that it's a definite form, like persons, the. Kontorer, kontorerne. Let's take another example. It ends in e, so I just add n or t because it has already, both words have already e. So I don't write an extra e from the indefinite article, and I say pigen, æblet, with a soft d. Then in the plural, it looks similar to the first pattern, but I just only add er. Piger, æbler. And then in the plural definite, the girls, pigerne, æblerne. Then another pattern of making plural is with e, just ending e letter, and it's quite random which pattern the noun will choose for making plural, but again, there are some rules saying that, okay, if you have a long vowel, then it would be more probably this pattern, but it does not work 100%. So, en fyr, a young boy, fyren, the boy, fyre, boys or guys, fyrene, the boys. Then et bord, a table, bordet, the table, borde, tables, just with e, and bordene, the tables. I pronounce this ending like n. Then the last group or last pattern of making plural for both genders is just leaving the noun as it is in singular. I call this group poor guy group, and it's because they don't have a plural ending. So you would say en film, mange film, 2 film, 3 film. Et sprog, 2 sprog. Jeg taler 5 sprog. Hvor mange sprog kan du tale? If you want to say the movie, the language, you say filmen, sproget. And since it's a poor guy group, you don't have anything in the end of the plural indefinite. So I add an extra e, unlike in the previous 3 patterns, because otherwise it would be really difficult to pronounce. So I would say filmene, sprogene. The dictionary always tells you the gender, in or it, of the noun, and gives the information about the plural forms. So you can see, for example, only from the Danish dictionary, usually not in Google Translate, whether a noun is of it or in group. So if I have a word cat, then I would say, okay, it says in the dictionary ten at the end. So t is just an extra t for the stem of the word to make the sound in the middle stay short. So I would say katten, it would be the cat. If I want to say a cat, then I would just say, okay, it's written en at the end, so I put it in front and I say in cat, a cat. Then cats would be katte and kattene, the cats. It's a good example to show you that sometimes it's not like just adding en in the definite singular, because if it's a short word, you have to double the final consonant sound. Let's have an example. Jeg har en kat. I have a cat. Katten er sort. The cat is black. Min søster har 2 katte. My sister has 2 cats. So you see, I add e, but I also double because it's a short word, and we have to keep the vowel short. Kattene er hvide. The cats are white. So remember to memorize the gender of the noun and the plural pattern it takes. It will make a huge difference for you when you will learn more grammar and more of Danish language. And it will help you to make the nouns behave grammatically correct. Thanks for watching, and you can find the same PDF file for the screen video on my website, Psykologer.dk. Thanks for watching, and see you in my next video.